Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? This week, I want to pick up on the storytelling that we've been doing over the last few weeks. So to give a quick recap, we looked at the protagonist, the hero, that's you. We've looked at the antagonist, the baddie. Ooh. And we've looked at, which could be a person or it could be a situation, and we've looked at the conflict between them. Then we looked at closing off the loop, the transformation that you offer in the story that you're telling. And then we looked at the, well, what's in it for me from the audience's perspective? How are they going to relate to what you're saying? Good question. And then I'm now going to bring it back to, and we had the call to action as well. I'm going to change it up now. I'm going to bring this back to you. The most important story that you will ever tell is the one between your ears. The story that you're telling yourself, or the stories plural that you are telling yourself. A number of the people that I work with go, oh, I'm shy, I'm an introvert, I can't possibly do the public speaking, I'm an author, my work speaks for itself. I don't know whether any of these are relating to you, any resonating, you can relate to them. Because the thing is, your work in published form, in book form, can only reach so many people. And the thing is that people buy from you. They'll buy your book, they'll buy your program, they'll buy the transformation that you are offering if they get to know you, the person behind it. And that is so powerfully done when you speak it out, when you talk about your work. Now that stage, from page to stage, that stage doesn't have to be a raised platform with you on top of it with a microphone in your hand. If that's a step too far right now, I get it. It doesn't have to be that one. But if you can have a one-on-one conversation with somebody, you can do a podcast. That is a stage. When you talk to a networking group as an entrepreneur, that is a stage. Now, that might be a bit too scary at the moment, but you could have a one-on-one conversation with people. Okay, what's stopping you from doing a podcast? As a guest, I'm not suggesting that you are a host yet, but you could be. Let's get you on the ladder first, shall we? But the reason I'm bringing this back to you is because you're the hero. The story, the reasons that you're giving yourself is the conflict in between. So you have told yourself that I can't do this, I'm shy, I'm an introvert. Hero, baddie. The bit in between, the stories, the reasons you're giving yourself, you can't do it. Now that's an open loop at the moment, because what you're saying by having put your business book out, or your compilation book, or your socials, is that you have a story to tell. You have a message to share with the world, and the world needs to hear it, frankly. And you're denying, I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. The old analogy of 1 foot on the gas accelerator and 1 foot on the brake, which we know results in wheel spin. You're not getting anywhere, going nowhere fast. And that's because of that conflict, those stories, the reasons that you're giving yourself as to why you can't get onto a stage. Remember, stage can be a one-on-one conversation with somebody. So I'm going to take it back to you now and ask you, what are the reasons? What are the stories you're telling yourself? Have you identified? Have you written them down? Because unless you challenge them, they will carry on, run the software as the software running your life. And that means that you are stuck where you are. You say you want to get your message out to a wider world, because frankly, it's not about you, is it? You are the conduit. It's your message that needs to get out there. So don't deny your audience. Let them hear the transformation that you offer. And if right now that story, those reasons are getting in the way, let's challenge them so that you can get onto a stage. Let's get you onto a podcast to start with, and then go from there. Once you feel a little bit more comfortable about sharing your message to a camera, you see, you're not even talking to a real person. It's a camera. It is doable, honestly. So I'm kind of leaning a bit today, because the thing is that if you're spinning your wheels, you're not getting your message out there. It's because of those unresourceful stories you're telling yourself. Let's challenge them. Let's get you out to the wider world so that your message can reach the audience that's dying to hear it. And how does that happen? Well, if you don't have the courage to sit down and do this on your own, and it does take courage, get hold of me. We can do this together. I can introduce you to some podcasts. I can introduce you to some ways of getting onto podcasts. Let's get you one foot on the ladder at least. Get your message out there, the transformation that you have experienced and you want to share to others. That's what I got for you this week. Get your message out there. Challenge that story you're telling yourself. DM me. Oh, and if you want to know if it's still happening for me, it is. I challenge stories on a regular basis. In fact, the 5 I did just about an hour ago, I was talking about one such that I did already this last couple of days. So if you want to see it in action, go out and check my Facebook Live. For now, have an awesome week. Come back next week and we'll see what we're doing. Please do DM me if this is resonating with you and you want to take this further. For now, bye from me.